They say if it's broke, don't fix it. Sadly for Americans, FEMA is broken with a capital B. And that's exactly why President Trump is looking to overhaul it. It's a concept that Democrats, they just don't seem to get.
My ask of you is, what is your plan with regard to FEMA? Are you planning to eliminate FEMA?
President Trump has been very clear since the beginning that he believes that FEMA and its response in many, many circumstances has failed the American people, and that FEMA as it exists today should be eliminated and empowering states to respond to disasters.
Joining us now, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Every hurricane that sweeps in across your fine state, the people of Florida know FEMA is broke. Can you get rid of it?
Well, I think that what needs to happen is you got to get it out of Homeland Security. That's why I filed a bill with Jared Moskowitz out of Florida to do just that. Get it out of Homeland and out of that bureaucracy. Have it be a direct report agency to the White House so the president working with the governor in that particular state can get real-time decisions occurring so people can get back on their feet. Look, FEMA's failures have been reported on for, frankly, over a decade. The secretary said Katrina claims are still outstanding. I can tell you Hurricane Ian claims are still outstanding, and we haven't even gotten to Helene and Milton from last year. North Carolina still has a lot of recovery work to do. Obviously, Florida is still doing recovery work. A lot of this disaster recovery really falls on governors. Governor DeSantis in our state has done a tremendous job with that. Other governors, not so much. But FEMA needs to be an action agency, not the bureaucratic agency it has become. It needs real reforms. So to quote the secretary, as it exists today, that FEMA needs to end. This is why the president and his team are going through the process of reforming FEMA, creating a new agency that can be responsive to the American people.
Congressman, good on you for introducing that bill. I need to move on to this. The president of the University of Michigan, Santa Ono, is now the sole finalist to lead the University of Florida. And here's a little taste of what to expect.
In January, we released the results of our DEI 1.0 initiative, which made it clear that while we have made progress, and we have, that we still have much more to do. So as we look to DEI 2.0, let us strive to nurture thoughtful and understanding citizens. Racism is one of America's original sins, and the University of Michigan has not been immune from participating in racism.
Congressman, you're a Floridian. What's your reaction?
Thought one, I don't know how this guy became the only finalist, but no, they need to go back to the drawing board. Number two, Governor DeSantis has led our state to be the #1 university system in the country. Part of it is getting rid of DEI and the crazy ideology of the left. Just based upon what I heard, that president has no business being the president of the #1 university in the state of Florida. We need to do better. It's time to go back to the drawing board.
Just that little clip is evidence of what's wrong with the educational system at the college level, not what's right. Y'all are, the University of Florida is bringing down, well, have at it, Congressman.
All I'm going to say is he's not there yet. And so, look, I think it's important for the Board of Trustees at UF to go back and do an evaluation of where they think they are on this one. I will tell you that in Florida, and listen, the governor's led on this, we have been clear about DEI not being a pillar of our educational systems in Florida. I fully support the governor's position on that. So UF needs to go back and figure out somebody else. Don't know this man, but based upon that speech and probably other things he said in the background, it just does not comport with the values of the state of Florida.
Well, that'll be interesting because, you know, they've got to make a decision. Ben Sasse was the president. I thought he was an exceptional mind and thought leader on this stuff. But, you know, given the health concerns and issues there with his family, I understood why he had to step aside. But the University of Florida can certainly do better than the University of Michigan.
Oh, we will. We will and we can. You can believe that.
Before I say goodbye and thank you, Congressman, I'm going to leave you with these two words. Cut spending. Congressman Byron Donalds.